Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hikmat and I am a fashion designer. I am the owner and founder of Mola Clothing and Mola Clothing Academy. On this channel, I'll be sharing my knowledge of fashion designing, things like pattern drafting, sewing techniques, detailing, and a whole lot more. I will also share fashion tips once in a while. Some of this knowledge I learned in the fashion school, and a whole lot I learned in my years of experience as a fashion designer. I would also share new knowledge as I come across them from time to time. I hope you find this channel interesting and beneficial, and I hope you engage with me on this journey. I am looking forward to our engagements. Thank you and welcome. So today I'll be showing how to take correct body measurements to get the perfect fit for most garments, and I'll be showing you how to take all the body measurements. So the first thing we take most times is the shoulder. That's the shoulder to shoulder, shoulder point to shoulder point. As you look for, there's a bone that's supposed to be here, or if the person is wearing a dress, just check for the comfortable shoulder point where the arm meets the shoulder from one point to the other. You don't need to go below like this, and you don't need to take it too short. Just take their perfect shoulder measurement. This is a 15 I have here. So and then when we are drafting our pattern, we usually need the neck point to the shoulder point. That's from the neck point down to that shoulder point where you took the first time. You can take your measurements in inches or in cm. It really doesn't matter as long as you know what you're working with. So here we have 4.5 inches. Then we'll take the bust measurement, which is around the fullest part of the bust. You take your tape rule around and you just bring it not too tight, not too loose, just perfectly fitting around the bust. Here we have 33.5. Yeah, it's okay to have half inches. It's just maths. Then the round under bust. That's the under bust. Yeah, when you are taking this measurement, have the person wear their normal size of bra. That is the bra they would normally wear, the one that they feel most comfortable in. It helps. So here the under bust, now it's just below the bust. We have 30 inches. Then the waistline is the natural waist of the person. Here, not too tight, not too loose, just perfectly fitting. You need exact body measurements. You don't want garments that would hang loosely or garments that will be too tight. So that's 28. Then the hips, just like we did for the bust, around the fullest part of the hip area. So sometimes I like to do this. Yeah. Then you release a little as you get to areas that are fuller than the rest. That's 37. I'll take that again. I'll start from the upper part of the hips. You release as you work your way down, as much as you need. Yeah. 37 works for that hips. Then across the chest, we need it in pattern drafting. No, just relax your arms, yes. From under the arm to the next underarm. Going across the bust, not around the fullest part now, on top of the bust. That's 14.5. Then the same thing for across back. Yes, that same measurement you took from under the arm at the back. That's 13 inches. have length to waist. That's from here, that's the nape, or what's this called? The center back, down to this deepest part in the waist area of the back. So from here to here, that gives 14 inches. Then I'll take the same measurement, not exactly the same measurement, but it's the front length to waist. I take that from the shoulder point down to the waist in the front. This is where you would usually put your half cut or your peplum and stuff like that. You don't want it too low, it makes the cloth ill-fitting, and you don't want it too high. So just around the natural waist. I have 16 here. Then the under bust, that's from the same neck point down to where you took your under bust measurement. You don't want it too tight, it gives false push up. Just relax your hand and have a good measurement. 12.5 here. So the next thing we'll be taking is the bust point. We're still coming from that neck point too, and you're looking for the highest point of the bust. The highest point of the bust. So I have 9.5 here. The bust width is the next, and it's simply your nipple to nipple. So you place your tip pro across the bust and you measure from one nipple to the other. So I can use 6.5 here. Blouse length, yeah, you know we wear skirts and blouse. So the normal blouse length will be somewhere just above the hips. Just above the hips. I would use 23 here. 22 might be a little bit too short, but 23 looks like perfect. But it also depends on your clients most times. Some people like it short, so the whole hips is out, and some people like it a little bit for coverage, but I think 23 is perfect. Then the knee length. I'm just showing you general body measurements. This is not for any style. This is the client's body measurement. So the knee length from the nape down to the knee. Yeah, 39. Although some of these measurements can be generalized, average knee length for anybody is 40, except for short people like me. Floor length, still from the nape down to the floor. 59 here. Then we're taking the up hip. When I say up hip, I mean UP and then the hip. That's from the waist to that fullest part of the hips. So you look for your natural waist to the fullest part of the hips. Yeah, it's always between 8 and 9, depending on the height of the person. So here I have 8.5. And sometimes some people will tell you they put their skirts here. It's fine too, depending on what you're making. But normal body measurement is what we are taking. So I'll use the natural waist down to the hip, 8.5. Then the waist to the knee. That's for the shaping of skirts or when you're making short skirts and stuff like that. So natural waist, knee, yeah, 24. waist to the floor. That's still the same waist all the way to the floor, obviously for skirts and trousers. That's 44. Then measurements for trousers, you have the knee circumference, the ankle circumference, and sometimes you take the thigh. So the knee circumference, I can take it without having to raise her skirt, actually. So if you are going to have excess, it's just going to be a little. So I have 15 there. And the ankle circumference is around the ankle. There are two measurements here. Oh, I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just shift back a little bit. Let me see if it will show the camera. Yeah, and help me with this. Yes, thank you. So the first measurement is this, tightly around the ankle. That's 9.5. And then the second one is from the heel around the ankle. That's 13. So the one for the heel around the ankle is for when you are using fabrics that are not stretchy. You want to be able to pull your trouser on and off. Or if you have stretchy fabrics, maybe or jean, you can always do slim fit around the ankle. That will come off easily. So the next measurements we are taking are for sleeves. So we have the top arm. That's around the fullest part of the arm. And here we have 10.5. Then the elbow measurement. I like to have the elbow bent a little bit for ease. Yeah. It's usually almost the same thing as the top arm. 10.5. Then the wrist. Just around the wrist. You leave some ease. So we can work with 7.5 here. Then the arm length is from the shoulder point to the wrist. Have the client bend their arm a little bit for ease. So you can see, yeah, something like this, from the shoulder point to the wrist point here. And that's 26. Then the elbow length, yeah, that's a measurement, but you stop it at the elbow here. That's 14.5. We're almost done. To have the complete body measurement, we only need one more measurement, and that's the crotch depth. Your crotch depth is very similar to the up hip. The only thing is you take it how the client is sitting. So she's seated, and then you use a ruler from the natural waist to the table. Just turn sideways. Yes. So I can show what I'm about to do. So from the edge of the table to the natural waist, I don't even need to look at the ruler, just look at the waist. And what I have there is 9.5. You can also use your tape roll from the edge of the seat. Natural waist. Okay, now I'm recording 10.5 here. My ruler is giving me 10. That's because I don't get to bend the ruler like the tape roll. So I'm working with 10. So that's all for the full body measurements. You can draft any pattern with all these measurements you have: skirts, trousers, sleeves, bodies, anything. So that's what I do for most of my clients. You don't have to go back and forth. You just take the client's measurement once, and then whatever they want to make, you can make for them. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you come back next time when I have another video. You can click the subscribe button and also like. Thank you. Bye.